Hey everybody, I actually lost my audio on this video. Half of it I had filmed with my voice and the other half I was planning to voice over anyways, but that just means that the whole video is going to be voiced over apparently. So we're here to wash the ValcoBaby Slim Twin pram. So the first thing we're going to do is remove the hood. There's 3 snaps down this side, 1, 2, 3, and we are going to pull that off. Underneath is another 3 snaps of the seat part, so you can see I'm wiggling them around, and I've just taken them off because they mostly come off when I undid the hood anyways. I have turned the pram around and now we're looking at the 3 buttons on top, or the 3 snaps on top, and we're just going to undo the 3 snaps. Later on I did work out that it is easier to unzip the zipper first and then undo the snaps, but we'll learn that in a second. Here is that little zipper that I was talking about under here. It's much easier to undo the zipper and then you can undo the snaps. Now you can see that the hood is free and it's only attached by the 2 side parts, which I would call the hood clamps. We're going to do the same on the other side, but the correct way. So we're going to undo the zipper first and then undo the snaps under, which is a lot easier to do. Undo the snaps down the side. You can either just do the 3 snaps or you can do all 6. So the first 3 are the hood, and then this next 3 that we're doing right now are the seat. Now we have both of the hoods unsnapped, we can look at the hood clamps that I'm showing you right now. You will see that little part in the middle that will need to line up when you're putting it back on. But this is all connected in one big piece, so both of the hoods are connected in one piece. There we go, 1, 2, 3. I'm just going to lift it off and it's going to unclip. That will be the same as the other side and it will just pop off. And then the middle one is a little bit tricky. You've kind of got to get in between the fabric. So I'm just going to unsnap these 3 snaps in the middle. And that helped me get a little bit underneath the fabric so I could see what's going on. And I'm just going to lift it up from the back and it will loosen it. This called for 2 hands, so put the camera down. And it's just a matter of wiggling it out from under the fabric. It's really not very hard to do. It's just a matter of being able to look at it and see what's happening. It would also be really helpful if there was 2 people, because it was definitely getting like out of line kind of thing. You can see the hood on the furthest away from me. It was like trying to fall over. But as you can see, I got it out and it's all done. Just showing you a little bit around the hood here. So we have these screws on the inside and on the outside. We're going to come back to this later and unscrew them when we get the screwdriver out. There's the one on the outside. You really only need to undo 2 screws, both of them on the outside, and leave the 2 inside ones together, and you can take the fabric off that way. We have pretty much undone the backs of the seats on both sides, so there is 3 snaps per side per seat. And then there's more, so we've got some down the sides at the front. So this is not the back part, this is now the front part of the seat that we're doing. It's very easy to do. This is the bassinet that I had done up, so I've just undone the bassinet. And now I'm looking underneath to the footrest. I'm literally just pulling the fabric up and over. This is how the bassinet normally goes, or the foot muff part normally goes. It just snaps underneath and you just unsnap it and then literally pull it over the top and that will set it free. Underneath the seat here, we have this little strap. So we're going to need to undo it. So it's really easy to do. If you are a little worried about putting it back together, take a photo or a screenshot of the screen and you'll be able to see how it goes back together. So if you take a look here, those straps come on the outside of the frame. You can see I'm pulling it out and around the frame. So when you're putting it back together, you want to go out and around the metal frame like how I'm showing here. So the two little recline straps on either side also need to be removed. All you do is push up until that little pin slots into the bigger part of, I don't even know what that's called. Just the little pin has to slide into the bigger part of whatever that shape is, and that will release it. Much easier with two hands. You just push from the bottom, push all the way up, and it kind of just like clicks into place. Of course you can't hear that because I lost my sound, but it's really easy to do. Now we're at the back of the pram. This is actually in the middle of the two seats, and this is a screw that is attaching the harness to the frame and also the seat to the frame so that it doesn't go flying off. So you just need a screwdriver, and we're going to undo 4 screws. Press the brake on so that it does not run away from you, and then just unscrew them. So I'm doing all 3 bars that you see across the back. I'm doing the middle ones first, I don't know why, but then there's one on each side as well. When I undid this one, I didn't even notice it had the little hook thing on it, but this is the basket hook. So I'm just going to unhook the basket hook, press up the same as those other 2 little hooks that we took off before, and this is the way that the screws go. So those 2 on the ends go on the outside, and the 2 with the plastic pieces go on the inside. That's the inside that we're talking about now, and then these on the outside. This should be it. All of the snaps off, and we can lift up the seats and they will come off. There's 1. There's 2. Now, so we already have removed the hooks on both sides because we unscrewed the screws that they were attached to. Now we just have to undo the rest of these little hooks. I don't know what they're called, but I'm calling them a hook because they hook on. There's 2, so that's 4 we've taken off technically. Here's the 5th one, 6th one over there, 7th, 8th, 9th, so there's I think 3 more. So these are not exactly straight. The one in the middle can't go in the middle because there is a bar there, I believe, so they've just moved it over to the side. It still works perfectly fine. And I'm doing this all one-handed, so it's really easy to do. There's the basket that can go in the wash just on a gentle cycle. Now, this little part here can be undone. It just takes a bunch of screws. I just decided to vacuum and wipe mine down because mine was really not that bad. It might look a little bit dusty, but it's just from sitting inside. So there's all of these screws that I'm showing you. You have to note that some of them are different. So there's also snap. So there are some here. It's really hard to see, and I've lost my audio, and I know I specifically explained. See that little hook part there? So that is where the basket hooks onto. So that one's a hook. So you can kind of see that if you do undo that, you will have to put them back on in that order so that the basket clips on properly. So to remove this the rest of the way, there's some Velcro, and don't forget those snaps that are in the middle under the center there. I'm just going to do a quick vacuum, and this really sorted out my issue. It was really just dust, so I don't think it needed a wash. I now have one of the seat fabrics. We're going to take the backboard out. So there is a zipper down the side. We're going to unzip that, and there is Velcro across the top. We're going to unvelcro that. Then we're going to remove the backboard from inside. So the backboard is actually attached to these straps you can see at the back right here where I'm showing you, there is these straps that need to be rethreaded back through. And on the front as well, these straps actually come out and the baby uses those straps. So they need to be threaded through. They're the harness straps. So you just need to unthread it all. It's very easy to do. And take it out. And then that way you can just throw the seat fabric into the washing machine as is. If the straps on this is dirty, either throw the backboard into the bathtub and give it a soak and a scrub on the straps. Just be gentle with them. Or give the straps a wipe down with some soap and water. The bum board part doesn't come out, but it is small enough so it will definitely fit in the washing machine just like this. To wash it, you're going to put it on a cold wash on a gentle cycle, and you can either lay it out in the shade to dry it, or you can put it on the line. I've always put my prams on the line in the sun. I haven't had any issue. If you're worried about all the snaps and that the fabric may shrink, put the fabric straight back onto the pram wet. It's not going to be dripping wet, it's only going to be damp because it's gone through a spin cycle. I've put prams back together damp and I've put prams back together completely dry, and they've been fine both times. For our hoods, now we're going to get the screwdriver, and like I said before, we're just going to undo one screw on each side. Once you get that screw out, you're just going to pull the hood clamp off. I always put my screws back into the part that it came from, just so that it doesn't get lost. Usually I'll screw them back on to the hood rod. So all you need to do now is slide the hood fabric off and throw that in the wash. Then just do the same on the other side. Doubles are very repetitive, you just have to do everything twice. There is no real need to remove the middle hood rod clamp, but it's up to you if you want to do that. I don't like to, because then it keeps the way that the hood's going to go. So I put it all back together when it's off so that I know which way it's going to go. And I never take both of them off at the same time, just one at a time, so I know that I can match it up and it can go the exact same way as I put it back on. That's it, all of our fabric is off our frame except this little front part, but I'm just showing you now how clean and tidy it is. It does not need a wash, it was just vacuumed up fine, so I'm really happy about that. So to give the wheels a clean, you can give them a spray and wipe them down. And then to remove the wheel, all you're going to do is press this button here and lift the frame up. It will just pop out. To put it back on, push the axle up into the hole and it literally just clicks in. For the back wheel, this silver button here will do the same thing. Press the silver button in and lift the frame up and the wheel will pop off. Just kind of pull it to the side like my hand is showing. For the backboard, now we need to put this back in, thread it back through, and make sure that the straps are coming out the correct holes in the fabric. As you can see here, I'm getting one of the side straps. Now these side straps, both of them need to go through their little plastic part at the back here, so you can see I'm threading it through. And then they need to go through the fabric to the outside of the seat so that it will work correctly. So we need to do that on both sides. This one is already threaded through, so I didn't need to rethread it through the black plastic, but I'm just threading it through the fabric. And the last part that we need to thread through is in the middle. This is the pull strap for when you're reclining and sitting up the seat on the pram. Now we're going to turn it around to the front and find which hole we want our straps to come out of. There are a choice of 3 different holes. So I'm going to put it in the middle one. We're going to put our hand up and over the top and just poke the straps through the holes. Thread them through and make sure they're even. You don't want one really high and one really low because the harness won't secure properly. Now that all of that is done, we are just going to Velcro the top and zip the side up and we are done. Well, you're done for this seat. Now do it again on the second one. When you're putting these seats on, this little part here that I'm poking at, the little hole, matters which way it goes on because that needs to go in the very middle. So that is where the hood clicks into. The part that I'm putting on is in the correct position. The hole needs to go in the middle on the middle part of the frame. We're just going to snap it on to hold it into place. Just makes it a little bit easier. 6 snaps at the top, and then you can do the bottom part of the seat as well. Because these snaps have another snap to go on them, sometimes they would hurt my fingers. So I actually got the end of the screwdriver and was just clipping them on with the end of the screwdriver so that it didn't hurt my finger. Just placing on the other side of the seat so we know where we're at. And you can see I'm using the screwdriver here, and sometimes it does take a little bit of force, but that means they're not going to come off. But I found this to be a really good way. The middle matters, so if you were to put this part down first, you're going to have to take it off and put the other one on. This one, see how it has snaps on top of it as well, and that's why I have to use the screwdriver. It's because it's a multi-layered snap. And then when you're ready to add the other layer, all you need to do is press them with your fingers because it has the nice end on it and you're not trying to press a double snap into itself. We're just going to take the 2-end hood rod clamps off and we're going to put the hood on. So the way we're going to tell which one is which is by having a look at the fabric on the hood, and you can kind of just tell from the shape of it. For starters, one side has snaps and the other one doesn't. So the side with the snaps is going to be the outside. So that's going to go on the side that I'm holding it on, but I need the other one because I'm going to do the other one first. So all you're going to do is just slide it on with the snaps on the outside. Very easy to do. And then grab the screwdriver, put the hood clamp on the correct way that matches with the other ones, and drew the screw up, and you're good to go. Now all of our seat fabric snaps are done up and our hood rods are all tightened back up. We're going to place the hood on. Now we're going to add the hoods back on. So I'm going to add one of the sides first. That was easiest for me with one person, and that kind of gave us a little bit of structure to work with and hold it in place. Now the part in the middle, we just need to tilt it so it's going the correct way. So we're just going to tilt it around. And now we're going to line it up through the fabrics. So there's 2 fabrics that we have to line it up through. And once it goes through both of the fabrics, then we can click it onto the bar. And on the bar, it also needs to line up. You can see that tiny little hole that my thumb's kind of just near. Not there anymore. But that needs to line up once you get it onto the frame. But it's very easy to do. All you need to do is slide up or down, and it will kind of just click in. See, I moved it up or down. Oh, I stuck my head in the way. That is not helpful. I'm just trying to obviously click it up or down into that spot. Nope, it's there. Good. So I'm so sorry the sounds aren't there. You can't hear it click in, but again, I lost my sounds. Last one is super easy. All we need to do is turn the hood clamp and click it on. That's the little button that I keep telling everyone about. They all have them and they all need to be put in place. Here's a big close-up. So it's on the frame. We slide it in. See how it clicks in? And that's how they all need to be clipped in. It just helps them not move around, move up or down. I'm going to snap all of the snaps on and then do the zippers up. Alrighty, these little dooba hook things, we've got to put all of them back on, so there's 4. So we put the big part in and pull down and it will like click into place and it won't come off. So there's 2 per seat, and this is what makes the pram recline and sit up. If they're not locked into place, it's not going to work. So they're really important that you don't get them mixed up and that you do get them put on. You can see I'm doing them so quickly and with one hand. They are really easy to put on. Alright, that's 4, and now our recline strap will work. Now we just need to add the harness back on to the frame, so this basically just holds the pram in place. or the pram seats in place. And these are really easy to do. So remember these two little ones that have like it's like a hanging part, because you hang that clip, the basket clip onto it. They go on the outside, plastic. See this plastic part? They go on the inside. A little tip, you can see which way it used to go because the fabric is kind of pushed out where the screw is screwed into. Alrighty, the basket. So having a look at the back, the little mesh part goes at the back, and then all we have to do is find all of the clips and find the places that they all go. I'm just making this into the little foot muff / bassinet part. I totally forgot to put the fabric back on. Don't worry, I remember in a minute. This side I'm not going to turn into the bassinet. I'm just going to clip them back together so that it's clean and tidy and out of the way. Add the little strap covers back on, so they're really easy. You just thread them through. So we're going to go through and then through both of them, and then we split them apart and go through just one of them, and we're going to pull tight. And remember that the fabric or the little straps are on the outside. You can see on the outside. I still haven't noticed that it's not even on the frame yet, but it's okay. I promise I remember that that it needs to go on the frame. But you can see how easy it is. I just did that so quickly. There we go. I just realized that it needed to go on the frame of the pram, and now it's on and it's all back in the correct position. Press the two little buttons and this adjusts the footrest, and you can put it at whatever level you would like. That's it. We are done. We have cleaned the ValcoBaby Slim Twin. It looks so nice. I absolutely love it. It is such a lovely pram, and it's so narrow. It's only 66 centimeters wide, which is so cool. I will also be doing a review on this pram. I have done a box opening on this pram. Or if you're just looking at prams in general and are trying to find the right one for you, I also have a bunch of pram reviews and how to wash prams on my channel. I'll see you guys in my next video.